Hey, it's Teresa with my lice advice, and today we're talking about lice in black hair. I'm going to show you how to identify lice bugs and lice eggs and to know whether you have lice when you have very, very dark hair. There is a common misconception that people that are of African descent or that have very textured hair can't get lice. That is not true. In this video, you'll see lots of people of all different races and hair types that have head lice. Before getting started, just so you know who I am, my name's Teresa with myliceadvice.com, and I'm a registered nurse, and I actually specialize in head lice. So if in this video you discover lice, don't freak out. Just go to myliceadvice.com. I have step-by-step videos. I'll walk you through how to get rid of it. Okay, let's talk about lice bugs, specifically in black hair. When lice bugs are still babies, they aren't adult bugs yet, they pretty much all look the same where they're kind of a translucent, clear looking color. So when they first hatch, they're so tiny they're almost invisible. You usually don't see those ones. As they grow up to be adults, then they get big enough that you can see them, and that's when they're the size of a sesame seed. So it's more typical to see the adult bugs than the baby bugs. So a lot of people assume that if they have lice, they're going to find tons of bugs. But even for people that have a full lice infestation, that's not necessarily true. First off, like I said, when they're babies, they're so small you can't see them. But the other thing that they do is that they actually blend in with the color of hair. So for example, do you see the lice bug in this picture here? There it is right there. So if you have black hair, and especially if you have dark skin, you're going to have very dark lice bugs, almost black. And compare this to somebody that has blonde hair. They have these tan, almost translucent bugs. So it really depends. How dark your hair is typically how dark the adult lice bugs are. So basically whatever color of hair you have, that's the color of lice bugs you're going to have. In this picture, I'm showing different lice bugs that I got out of different people's hair. So you can see these lighter ones that are like pretty clear. Those I pulled out of somebody with blonde hair, as opposed to these dark lice bugs that are black. These are from a girl that had very dark skin, very dark hair. Regardless of your race, darker hair, darker skin, you're going to see darker lice bugs. And that's because they're going to blend in with the hair. So because lice are so good at blending in with the hair, I mean, they're either going to be see-through when they're babies or they're going to be dark black, just like your hair. I recommend looking for lice eggs. These are also known as nits. Most of the time, I use those two words interchangeably, lice eggs and nits, but they are actually different. Nits are these white shells that you're going to see in black hair. You're a lot more likely to see these white nits because in black hair, these are really obvious to see. Whereas lice eggs, those aren't just a shell. Those actually have a little bug inside of them. And when they have a little bug inside of them like that, they're dark. They're like a dark brown or even black. And these dark lice eggs that are black, these are really hard to see in black hair. So I recommend that you just look for the white nits to know whether or not you have lice. The best places to look for these nits or lice eggs are in places called the hot spots. And hot spots are places that lice really love to lay these things. And the hot spots are behind the ears on either side or at the nape of the neck. So when you're looking for these nits, those are the areas I recommend looking. Now, the hardest thing with these nits is that they are confused with dandruff and different types of dandruff very, very commonly. So the telltale sign of something being a lice egg versus being dandruff is that it's going to be glued onto the hair strand. It's actually going to require you to pinch it between two fingers and drag it all the way down the hair strand. As opposed to dandruff, usually moves a lot freer than that. If you're not sure whether or not what you're seeing are nits or dandruff, I have an amazing video tutorial, and it's called Lice versus Dandruff. And I go over just side-by-side pictures and explain exactly the differences between lice and dandruff. So if you're having a hard time telling the difference, go to my website, myliceadvice.com. I'll actually put a link in the description below. Now, if you already know that you have lice or you discover that you have lice, one thing I want to make sure you're aware of is that head lice have become immune to lice kits and home remedies that used to work in the past. And so it's pretty typical for people to have head lice come back over and over because they never get rid of it with those over-the-counter kits or home remedies. And so if you have head lice, go to my website, myliceadvice.com. I actually have a step-by-step video system. You just follow along the videos, and by the end of them, you'll be done with lice, and it won't ever come back again. And I'll put a link for that in the description below. So just a quick review for lice in black hair. Remember, they're going to be all different sizes. When they first are hatched, they're just teeny tiny. You can't even see them. And they get to be as big as a sesame seed. And remember, they usually blend in really well with the hair. So if you have really dark hair, then you're more likely to see dark colored head lice. And remember, you're really looking for those lice eggs or nits in the hair. And for people with dark hair, you're more likely to see more of these white nits in the hair, which are behind the nape of the neck and behind the ears. If you want to know how to check for head lice, go to my free video tutorial that's called How to Check for Lice. You can find a link in the description below. And if you do have lice and you'd like some help, then head over to myliceadvice.com. There's loads of free resources there, including a free house cleaning checklist specific to head lice. So that's it for today. Be sure to like and subscribe below. And if you have a comment, feel free to leave a comment. And if you have discovered lice, then head over there and check out that step-by-step video system. I'll see you there.